Hey, what's going on? So I wanted to show you guys how to use the new Geforce Experience. I've been using that to record all my gameplay footage for, I guess, a little over a year now. And it's still the best recording software out there in my opinion. It gives an awesome picture quality. It never crashes, just like really stable. And, it's a lot easier to use than the other solutions I've seen out there anyway. So they do have one requirement is you do need an NVIDIA-based video card. So unfortunately, if you have ATI, you're going to have to use something else. But for those of you who do have NVIDIA cards, I just wanted to show you how really easy it is. And once you learn how to kind of use it, it's really fun to do. If you haven't recorded and watch yourself, playing first-person shooters and stuff, it's nice to see what you miss and kind of just kind of judge your skills and stuff, and it helps you get better, I think, at least for me. So anyways, I'm going to show you how to use the software and hopefully it helps you out. So the first thing you want to do is just launch Google and then go to Geforce Experience. Now just click on download Geforce here. Get that downloaded. We'll cut to that in a second. All right, now what we're going to do is just go ahead and install this. All right, so once you have Geforce Experience installed, you'll notice that by default, if you hit Alt-Z, it will pop up this Geforce Experience overlay screen. And there's another way to get to it from the Experience software. Just click over here, this little share icon. It will do the same thing. It will pop up your on-screen overlay. Now this is where you control all your main video controls for recording yourself on screen, or recording your desktop, or recording webcam. And it's pretty easy to walk through. So again, just get used to that it can pop up anywhere. So basically Alt-Z is the hotkey. So that pops this up. All right, so before you just start using this, there's a couple things you might want to understand, which is if you have this on record and you click start, you see here where it says I have privacy control turned on. I won't be able to record my desktop. Since I'm running in desktop mode now, this software is telling me for privacy reasons, I guess in case you're broadcasting, we're not going to record what you do on your desktop, even if you had it minimized. So what you want to do is, I don't mind my desktop being shown, so you go down here to privacy controls and click yes. So turn on desktop capture for instant replay, record, broadcast, and screenshot. So I'll get into more of those settings in a minute, but I just want to show you now when you start it, it's just going to basically record anything you're doing on your computer. So let's just go ahead and stop that. And it says the recording has been saved. So where is it saved? That is in here. Go to your preferences, and I like to go down to recordings. And I just put, this is the default your username in videos. I like to always set this to desktop myself. You might map it to a separate drive you have, but I like to copy everything on my desktop and then file it away later to drive. So let's say go ahead and record, and then we stop. We'll see the recording here. Just recorded in a desktop folder, and whatever game you're recording, which I'll show you in a little bit, it will just have the game name and then the files inside. So it's very nice and neatly organized. So Alt-Z pops up the Geforce Experience. Remember, just get into the habit of that. And that's how the recording works. So let's go through the customization section of this. So you can see you can set your qualities here. It's very straightforward. You can pick your actual resolution. Like I run a 2560 by 1440 monitor, so I could pick that. And then my frame rate, you should always pick 60 if you're recording your video games. It just looks way better. But if you pick a manual resolution, it will limit how much bit rate you can have. So if you click in game, I like to run 60 frames per second. This will just record at your whatever max resolution you're running your games at. I like to put a bit rate of 60 megabits per second, and you can see there's no limit on the time. So in other words, this will just record for as much disk space as I have. So let's save that. For example, if I just hit start here, this will just run until I'm out of disk space. So that's kind of neat. There's no time limit. So that's one way to record your on-screen gameplay. The way I personally like to record is by using the instant replay function. And for that, what I do is you just turn it on. I always have instant replay running. And what this allows you to do is, let's say you have a really good round or last few minutes of action. It just lets you really quickly and easily save an instant replay of that. So let me just demonstrate that in game for you. So if you hit Alt-Z, you can see I have instant replay running. And then all I have to do is spawn in or go in somewhere here. Let me put the now if I want to turn my webcam on, you can see I hit Alt-Z again and I turn it on. This way you can see my fingers and what they're going to do. So let's say I'm running around. Well, I can't see my map because my screen overlay. But let's say I do something heroic, like nail that guy. I missed. Okay, but you get the point. So let's hit Alt-Z again. You can either, if you want to save that, you can click up here and click save and it will do it. Or you can do the shortcut way, which is to simply, if you see my keyboard, I hit Alt F10. And that's going to dump whatever last bit of instant replay you had recorded. So you can also, when you're running around, let's say something awesome happened and you want to save that, you can hit Alt-Z instead of using your keyboard, instead of using the Alt-10 shortcut save. You can hit Alt-Z and that will pop up your overlay. You can hit save instead. And that does the same thing as, you'll see, save the last 31 seconds. So that is the same thing as hitting the Alt F10 shortcut. So let's say you had instant replay running and you don't want to record like that. You can turn that off in game and either click start recording here, or if you didn't have anything running, you can just be running around and hit Alt F9. And that will actually start a recording. So now it's just recording anything you want to record on screen up to the amount of disk space you have. And anytime you want to stop that, you just hit Alt F9 again, and it will dump whatever was currently saved right to your hard drive. So you can see, really, really simple to use. So now that you have your recordings, you just go back to your desktop. And on the desktop folder, in the Battlefield 1 folder, here are all the screen recordings that we have captured to do whatever you want to do with them. Watch them on your phone using Plex TV. You can watch them on your TV or just your computer, wherever it's convenient for you. So you can see it's really, really super easy to use and just an awesome piece of software. So hopefully that showed pretty easily how everything works. Now I do want to just show you the customized section of Instant Replay. You can see the default's 5 minutes. I like to put 20 minutes, and that it's telling me it's going to take up 9 gigabytes at these resolutions. So it definitely takes up some disk space, so you just want to keep that in mind. So that's really the only difference between the instant replay options and the regular recording options, is it does give you the how much disk space your replay length is going to take up, depending on the settings that you set and see here. And for those of you who might not know, bitrate is just however much data and information it's recording per second. I like to put in game because it puts a maximum of 130, and then I like to set it at 60, which I found is pretty much almost in-game quality to me. Very, very little compression that I can tell. But you can see 20 minutes takes 9 gigabytes. So I hope that makes sense. But that's the way I prefer it because I never know if I'm gonna have a good round or not, and it's just better to have this always running rather than manually just record everything, just eating up disk space, and it could just be a waste, and you'll end up with a lot of files you don't really use, and you'll have to sift through them and stuff. So it's worth mentioning now that about performance. When I'm running this, I don't notice any performance lag or drop off in frame rate at all. Depending on your computer, you'll have to see, but I think that the overhead is so light on this Geforce Experience software that I think you'll find that you shouldn't have too much lag with a fairly recent video card. But in any event, it works really good, whatever it's doing. I don't notice any performance loss at all. All right, so that's your recording options. Now, there's a couple other things I want to cover here, which is in your preferences. There's this section here called overlays. What this does is it's basically just turns on the overlays for these different things. So you have your camera. So I can turn that on, and it will be my webcam will now show on screen. And then you can do status indicator, which just shows a little green ball in the corner when your recording is actually on. So let's say you're in game here and you hit Alt F9 to start recording. You'll see a little green dot here just letting you know you're recording on screen, and there's also the microphone icon to let you know that it's recording your microphone. So you can see I started it there with the Alt F9, and you can stop it with Alt F9. But status indicator, that's that FPS counter. I personally use fraps myself, so I don't really mess with that too much. All right, so I do just want to go over the mic and other display settings here. You can mess with here's the microphone settings. So if you want to have it to where it only records your voice when you push a button, you have the push to talk. You can have your mic always on, which is what I run, and then always off. And then the customized sections where you kind of pick your mic. So if you have a few different mics on your, attached to your computer, like I do, you can kind of pick which one is best for you depending on how you want to record your voice in your game. And then you can adjust your volume and your boost levels and just kind of play around with that till you get the right volume. And then over here is where you can just toggle the webcam recording on and off. And then finally, you should know that all the keyboard shortcuts that we've been talking about can be set here. So if you want to do Alt-R, Alt-I or something to help you remember, you can customize it. So that's really neat. So that's really all there is as far as recording with the Geforce Experience. If you want to see a little bit more, I'm going to post another video on other stuff that the Geforce Experience can do for you on my gaming channel if you want to check that out. I'm also going to be posting like tips and stuff and videos to hopefully help you become a better gamer. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, you guys, and you all take care.